All right, how you doing, guys?
Giddy up.
Giddy up. Yeah, we're live, I guess, again. Hey, good news. That interview one with Sexton turned out awesome as far as the response. I don't know if you guys are hearing anything, but a lot of people call in or emailing me and saying that it turned out to be really good.
Is a lot the three
all
folks?
three of them?
All three? Okay, I just want to make sure we're...
Flynn was
3 out of 4.
Okay.
I'm not going to go crazy.
Okay.
But we got 75% favorable.
that counts as your phone blowing up, huh?
Yeah. So for those, this is kind of weird. I can't see you guys. I'm stuck. I'm stuck on the beaches of Punta Cana. We figured we go ahead and try a call in and see how this works. And so far so good. But if I drop, then the rest of the guys are gonna just take it and run. So anyway, how'd the week go?
Good.
All talk at once.
Who are you looking at?
No complaints.
You. I'm looking at you. Whoever that is. Who said no complaints? Jim had a couple videos I saw, music videos. That was good.
Hey, what song are you on now? Will you practice?
Wait, what? What?
What?
How many videos? How many music videos have you done, Jim?
I'm working on a whole bunch of them today, actually, because I just got a actual recorder.
You got a new toy.
Yeah, I got a toy. Yeah, so I got a recorder, a 32-bit float recorder. So I'm still trying to work the kinks and bugs. It's very complicated, and there's a lot of trial and error going on because obviously there's acoustic room, and then there's outs from the direct outs from the speaker, and there's also microphones that record the actual music coming out of the speaker. Music and vocals, so and then there's blends, and so I'm just
good lord, what, you got a whole studio going on
it's
there?
It's baby steps. Well, the recorder's pretty cool. It's just a lot to it, and I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going through trial and error and trying to figure out how to best make this work without sounding horrible. Figure
it out fast because I just bought our board. Josh, we're good. We got a board coming. So, I'll have to figure that out, but I'm counting on Josh. Kind of be the teacher. You should show Jim what to do, Josh. He'll probably pay you about $100.
He's $100 more than you, right?
Exactly.
Where are these videos? Where are these videos going to be played?
The videos of what? The singing?
The ones that your music videos?
The karaoke video? Well,
the singing videos.
The singing karaoke videos are crude, but I throw them up on Facebook and stuff like that. I can throw them up on YouTube, but I'm working on some stuff that's going to sound a lot better, so it doesn't sound like you're in a concert hall with echo, and so it'll sound a little bit better than just regular cell phone recording. So
do you want to sell your? Do you want to share your web page and YouTube channel?
It's just my name.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just put a link. Put a link on the website. A link.
Not our website. Stay away from the podcast.
Right, yeah, for sure. We don't scare anybody away.
That's cool. All right, Captain, what are you up to?
I'm jumping on a plane tomorrow, actually.
Oh, that's right.
Heading to Cali. So
okay.
Yeah.
I'm going.
I miss all the good weather here this week.
Yeah, right.
It's supposed to be nice.
Oh,
yeah. Are you going to be there the whole week?
As soon as I left town, it's like a squall came through or something. Yesterday?
It did.
Oh yeah, It's Maryland weather.
Big snow.
Snow yesterday, 70 to some degrees.
Cancel school
Wednesday, I think, something like that. Yeah, cancel school.
Cancel school. My deck was covered with white stuff.
Yeah.
3 trees went down on our property. That's what I got the message as soon as I left. Yeah. 3 trees went down.
Right. They're going to stay down.
Firewood. Oh, look, I got a car driving by. Could you hear that?
Yeah, it sounds like rain.
Sounds like a donkey.
Kevin?
You buy.
He's not here.
Where'd he go?
He left.
No, he's here. Kevin?
Yes, Michael.
Your week?
Good.
Was
uneventful.
Impressive?
A lot of food.
Well, we had a that St. Patty's Day, early St. Patty's Day party.
True.
Oh yeah, that's right. The trivia night.
Trivia night. Yeah, I did.
I got to wear my St. Patty's t-shirt. But the only time I get to wear it because I'll be on the plane next time on the actual St. Patty's Day.
Where are you going now?
Coming home.
Back home.
Oh, okay. I thought you were jetting off to somewhere else.
No.
Okay.
No, that's for that rich or famous life like you got.
Oh,
But,
I'm not flying private airlines.
This podcast must be more lucrative than he's leading on. You know,
Right?
Jetting all over the place.
I have Venmo.
Our contract's up at the end of the year, so I'll have to renew this.
Hey, well, so what else has been going on? Let's see. Who am I forgetting? Todd.
Todd.
There is airflow up here in the podcast studio.
There is.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, you're
The
missing
captain has added
What?
a ceiling fan.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You started it the day I left?
that. Yeah.
That's
We want to make sure we're comfortable.
Yeah. And
It doesn't make a difference? Can you feel it?
we can feel it, but it doesn't make any noise at all. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah, it doesn't affect
Did you
anything.
just install that this week?
I did this weekend. Yeah, it was my
You are the man.
my
Right.
honeydew list
The-
item. Actually,
the
it was more
loft
my
studio.
list.
It's a business
I don't know whether-
deduction.
Do we call it the studio or the loft? I don't even know what to call it.
But that's now the studio. It's
What did you say, Todd?
I called it the podcast studio. But hey, in full disclosure, though, this is for my
Yeah.
beautiful wife. I did not notice the ceiling fan. It was pointed out to me.
engineer Josh noticed it right away.
And I didn't.
Well,
I didn't notice it either.
Yeah,
I thought it had
That's
always
funny.
been there.
I did this for you guys.
I thought it was always
You
there.
know-
It's never been. You just
You know,
put that out.
any one of the wives would have seen it right away. And Josh. Poor Josh.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
I think he noticed it because he wasn't sweating when he came up here. He's like, oh, it's comfortable.
Is Josh even there or did he run out? I can't even tell.
No, he's here.
Josh, you're going to have to give us the time signal because I can't see it now.
I will relay it.
All right.
Don't worry. We tried
you can
to
just-
give
you can
Josh
just
a
cut
mic,
it
but he
off.
didn't want one tonight. So, well,
Yeah.
we might talk about some things he wants to chime in on. So he might grab a mic real fast. I don't know.
Well, pick one. There's been plenty that happened. Super Tuesday happened.
Yeah, sure did.
Super Tuesday.
Did everybody get their votes in? Oh, we didn't vote.
We didn't vote.
No.
We're not super.
Do we vote? When do we vote, May?
Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
All right, we get a bunch of cynics, but let's just say it does. Do we? I think it's in May. I think it's our
It sounds
primary.
right.
Unless
But,
you're registered as a Democrat, it really isn't going to matter
Doesn't
when you
ma-
vote
It's not going to matter in
in the
Maryland.
primary.
Yeah, right. You got a good point there.
Even the general in Maryland.
And I'm an
Were there any
independent,
real
so
surprises of that whole day?
Not really. Vermont. I mean, he lost Vermont by like 1.5% or something like that. But
That
but
wasn't really
it's
a surprise.
Vermont.
that wasn't really a surprise. I mean, that's also an open primary, so there's independents and stuff and Dems can vote. Dems can vote for a Republican ballot. You can only get one ballot though, so you either pick one. You can pick a ballot and you can vote. So that skews everything. But it didn't really matter. They did it and picked her, but and then she's done. She's out. So
She's
it's a
done.
moot point. Yeah.
I saw a article today, and it was a guy talking about his dream team would be Biden and to pick her up on the ticket.
No,
Yeah.
you think?
Well, that tells you
Haley.
that tells you
up with that?
tells you who she is.
It wouldn't be a huge stretch for her.
No, that's what I mean.
No,
wants
no,
a
I'm not saying for
unification. Actually, even Bill Maher touched on it.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem.
They
It
would
would
have to-
cause a freaking civil war. in
Yeah,
the
they'd have to get rid of
Democratic
Kamala. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's brown. She's not brown enough.
Addition by subtraction, guys.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be that hard.
So who?
she's not brown enough.
So who would you like to see Trump pick up as a running mate?
Whoa.
Oh,
It's coming.
I know who I'd like. I don't even know if I want to say it.
Just say it.
Too controversial.
did you say Dukakis?
I mean, if you're voting for Trump, you're voting for controversy. So just go for it. I mean, that's kind of why I think a lot of people
don't want
like
a
it.
politician. I want somebody like Tucker in there.
Oof.
Tucker is too smart to do that.
Well, I didn't say he'd say it.
He's got a good
I'd love
gig.
to see it.
I'd like to
I
see
want somebody
Vivek.
to go in there and kick some butt.
I'd like to see Vivek. The problem is, you have to pick somebody that's going to get you votes. Vivek doesn't get you any votes. He's
No.
going to get MAGA people. Anybody other than Nikki Haley. Anybody other than Nikki Haley doesn't get you any votes. You need the
Right.
votes that you're not getting. He's already making headway in the African American community. He's making headway with the younger voters. The problem he's going to be having is the white educated female voter who still wants to kill her baby when she wants to kill her baby. So you're going to have to try to pick some of those people up, those independents, or those more conservative blue dog Democrats, modern women. And the only person that right now that I could see that would get him some of those votes would be Nikki Haley. So they would have to bury that hatchet really quick. And
he doesn't seem to want to.
Well, there's a lot of things that doesn't seem to happen, but we saw Kamala Harris call Joe Biden a flat out racist on stage in a debate, and he picked her. He picked her for the running mate. So anything's possible, and that's the only person that really picks him up votes. Everybody else just doubles down on the populist America First MAGA.
If you're a Haley voter, though, Jim, where do you go?
If I'm a Haley voter, I go to Haley if she's on the ticket. But
no. If she's not,
if she's not on the ticket, well, you hope that 50% more than 50% of them come home because you can't vote for Biden. But the ones that don't come home probably sit out. They probably don't vote for Biden, but they sit out, and that's still gonna cause problem, in my opinion. So.
What about Tulsi Gabbard?
She would be good. She would.
I think she would pick up some of those votes you're talking about.
Same deal. Yeah, Tulsi or Nikki, but I actually like Tulsi better than Nikki.
I do too.
By a long shot.
I think they're the same now, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah.
Well, when I say the same, I mean both liberal and.
But moderate.
I don't know.
Well,
moderate liberal, but at least Tulsi has been true to herself.
She has. She flip flopped on guns though. She was pretty anti 2A stuff. Obviously she's coming out of Hawaii, but she was anti 2A stuff for a while. But she's changed her position, and people can change their position, but she did. So I don't know what she really believes there. But I'm not a one issue voter. I mean, we need to win this election, so you gotta vote.
So the anti 2A is just. It's too broad of a brush.
Of course.
Way too broad. There is a common sense, common ground.
Absolutely.
Where you do need to have some sort of checks and balances.
Of course.
You have to have background checks. You have to have
we have that
mental illness. There's got to be something in for that. And not nationally. Why wouldn't the Republican Party take that and run with it?
We have background checks nationally. There's national. The next check. The next check is a national background check.
No. States require. Individual states are requiring that.
Well, they run it through NICS, and then the feds require it. The feds require all handgun purchases, all regulated weapons have to go through a NICS check. It's the feds, and the states run it, but they check it through the Fed system.
Right, because there's different rules for every state, right?
There's different rules for every state. What would make you a prohibitor?
Are you saying, Todd, that you think the standard of what would have you fail the background check is different?
No, I keep hearing from the Democrats they want to push this national background check thing. So
they should, and if it already exists, then shame on the Republican Party for being so stupid that they can't get that message out that it's already done. It can't be done.
It exists, but there are what they consider loopholes, like say the secondary purchase, or if you go to a gun show and everybody's in the gun show.
Gun show is one of the loopholes.
If you go into that, well, they call it a loophole, but it's really not, because inside the gun show, it's not a loophole. If you go in the gun show, everybody there has to have an FFL, okay, and you have to have a background check though. But if I'm Joe Schmo and I'm at the gun show and this guy's looking at this Glock that he wants to buy, and I have a Glock in my trunk that I'm looking to sell, I can say, hey, I'll give you that same gun. I have it in my trunk right now for $100 less than what you can buy it right now. And I go over, and he goes over to my trunk, and we can make a secondary purchase, right? We can make a secondary purchase, and I don't have to give him a background check. As long as I say, hey, are you not a felon, are you? No. Okay. I'll take you for your word on it. But if you go through any licensed dealer, the law is you have to have a background.
Well, maybe that's not reasonable then, to be able to sell it to a guy
secondary
out of your
purchase
trunk because he says, I'm not a felon.
Correct. As a secondary purchase.
Why wouldn't the Republican Party take something like that and run? The Republican Party doesn't ever fix anything.
In Maryland, you can't do that. That's illegal. But only in certain states, you can do that. But Maryland, it's illegal. So most of the
So
states.
we're back to the states.
Correct.
So then, you know what?
Correct.
Make it federal then. Take that, make a federal law that makes common sense, and run with it. And then every time these people say the Republicans allowing schools to get shot up, and they get the blame every time it happens.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's not true.
It is. That's not true. It is true because the perception of it is true.
As long as the perception's true, it doesn't matter if it's true or not.
Right.
Well, that's like them saying that cops are killing Black Americans left and right, hunting them down. That's not true. And people believe it.
Statistics say it's not true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's but people still say it. They're going to say whatever they got to say.
I agree with Todd, though. I mean, that's an easy win for the Republicans. If they get that through, that's an easy win that no one will. NRA would not push back on it, I don't think, right? So that's an easy win just to get a political victory.
NRA has no more power. They're done.
Yeah.
They just got neutered.
They're done, as they should be. They're screwed. There's a lot of other great organizations to throw your money at if you want to throw money at it. Guns of America, Firearms Policy Coalition. There's a ton of great organizations out there that are doing really hard work and litigating on behalf of,
gun owners.
Gun owners, absolutely, yeah. And NRA has not been in the mix for decades.
They're a good target. They just throw out their name, NRA, they're the enemy.
Yeah.
Oh, there were two, I thought, surprises out of Super Tuesday, which was, I think 2 states, Massachusetts and Virginia, because they were thinking that she might pull them out. As she not only lost them, she lost them.
She got clobbered.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bigly.
I don't know. And he took the every age bracket. The biggest one was the 18 to 29.
Yeah.
The young one.
Also,
Now,
there's another
granted, it's a
couple
primary.
things. Yeah, there's another couple things on Super Tuesday that surprised me, but worth noting. On the Biden side, on his votes, I think it was in Michigan and a bunch of other places where they voted for no one. Like almost 100,000 people in Michigan
uncommitted
voted for no one other than him on the Democratic side. So that tells you right there the Muslim population there. About the Israeli Hamas thing going on, plus the auto workers up there that are getting hammered with the EVs up the wazoo, and they're about to lose all their jobs because of it. That tells you right there that he's not going to win Michigan, because if they don't come out, if he loses 100,000 votes, Trump lost by 42,000 votes in 3 states, in 3 swing states. If he doesn't get 100,000 Democratic votes that he got before. In Michigan, that he's lost that because it wasn't even close to 100,000. That's telling.
That was was that the uncommitted vote, or was that something else you're talking about?
Yeah, I think those.
Yeah, it was like
there's uncommitted on certain ballots.
Yeah.
There's different titles for different states.
Whatever the verbiage was, it was a vote again. It was a non-vote for Biden. That's what it was. It was an anti-Biden vote on the Democratic side.
So the question becomes the opposite of what you're talking about with the Republicans. Who comes home to the Democratic Party?
Mm-hmm.
Do they come home to it
right
because they want, because they hate Trump, or
depends. If he can get a ceasefire going, they may come back. But I don't know. He's going to get the unions, the car unions back.
Well, she spent like 114 million. He hardly spent anything. He killed her. So
yeah, he didn't need to. He needs to save it.
Yeah,
for the general
or his attorneys.
But I was glad to see her drop out. It was time. I mean, come on.
I don't think he can use that money for attorneys, but I'm all for it.
Something came out about that. Can the party now pay for his attorneys? Did you hear anything about that?
I didn't. I don't know. They're going to be looking at him with a fine-tooth comb over a magnifying glass on that.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless he pays cash. Like the
like Fanny.
Fanny.
He's just gonna go in his sock drawer.
Well, that leads to the next 2 days later when you have the wild angry man giving this unhinged State of the Union.
Get off my lawn.
That was crazy. Look, I've seen a
it,
lot of State of the Union addresses. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that where it was the most bizarre and disappointing State of the Union speech I've ever seen.
I called it though. I said,
talking about both parties.
Yeah, I said he was going to come out, and he wasn't. He was going to be on script, right on teleprompter, and he wasn't going to mumble and fumble over his words. He was just going to come out and read it.
He was hopped up on some kind of concoction.
He was definitely juiced up
for sure.
But I know for sure, I knew that was going to happen, and they wanted that out there so they could say, "See, he's not senile, he's not dementia, he doesn't have all this stuff, he's not, in cognitive decline."
But it only must have lasted for like a couple hours, because when he left stage, he was meandering around. He got lost.
Well, I think it was 5-hour energy, because after the 5 hours wore off, then he was Joe Biden just shit my pants.
I want whatever it is they're giving him, though, because that's pretty good stuff. Whatever can hold him up for an hour like that. It turned him into this bumbling, Weekend at Bernie's this tirade.
Whatever it was,
lasted over an hour.
Whatever it was, it didn't allow him to say Lincoln Riley, right?
Lincoln
Logs.
Unbelievable.
But he did apologize, didn't he? He apologized for calling the homicide
the
illegal, and he apologized.
He apologized for calling him an illegal alien and not a newcomer, undocumented newcomer
person.
He didn't really apologize. So you talking about getting on the airplane?
Yeah.
It was kind of like a backhanded, like I could have called him.
No, he
something else.
What? He apologized in an interview last night or the night before.
Yeah, he apologized.
Yeah, well, he's getting on the airplane, right?
No, well, but
that's where I saw it. That's where I saw it the first time, and he was very
Yeah, well, they came out afterwards, and he apologized for it.
It's very offensive.
Yeah, very offensive.
Well, there was nothing unifying about that.
The only offense I saw was murder.
Yeah, well, look, if you overlook that, he's not a bad guy.
No,
exactly. Really good.
Yeah. As long as you get his pronoun
undocumented,
you're good.
Right.
Well, he said he's not going to offend anybody. Yeah. They built America. That's what he said. They built America.
Yeah. He only offends half of the country.
True. Unbelievable.
But, that speech is supposed to be unifying. I mean, I know at times it's not. But it's, unhinged, hyper-partisan. I think it was designed to be that way, because I think they really needed to get him up and riled up. And that's how he comes across as the fiery guy they want him to be. But brought up Nikki Haley's voters. I remember not long after that, Karl Rove, he was talking about how Trump has to turn down his rhetoric because he's not going to get the Haley voters. But then you see a speech like this, and it's like, at what point in this speech, what point of that appeals to the Haley voter?
Well, the Democrats, the Democrat Haley voters appeal that Biden appeals to.
Oh, well, okay. All right. Well, that's a given.
Yeah. Karl Rove has been wrong for so many decades on so many whiteboards. I can tell you. Yeah.
The second.
I whenever he pulls his whiteboard up, as I go, here comes some more wrong data, wrong information.
Like the Schleprock of predictions.
He is the Schleprock.
Karl Rove.
Yep, he's the Schleprock. Wowsy, woo woo. Hi, fellas.
Well, the whole speech got off to the kind of a weird start. He didn't even wait for the speaker to announce him, did he? I think he forgot the protocol coming in, and you could tell at that point it's over. I mean, you see where it's going. He jumped right into those remarks and couldn't wait to compare Putin to Trump. Yeah, because that's the grave threat to democracy is Trump now. So he had to get to that point fast, and he did.
Yeah. Well, you're going to see more of that in the next 8 months. It's going to be nothing but that.
If he campaigns.
Wow. He can have a campaign outside of his bunker somewhere, but it's still going to be all that same rhetoric.
Well, his campaign to get the young vote is just pay off student debt.
Well, he does on TikTok. He's on
TikTok.
He's using TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. And he wants to ban it too, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to ban it until we don't.
Yeah. I'm going to be on it, but I'm going to ban it.
I'm going to use it until the election, and then I'm going to ban it.
We got a problem because, I mean, he's talking about Trump using him as the threat to democracy, and the real threat to democracy is saying that your political enemies are a threat to democracy. That's the threat.
Well, the voters, they didn't want to have him on the ballot, so the voters of this country are the threat to democracy because they didn't want him on the ballot because they didn't want you to be able to vote for him because that's the threat to democracy.
It amazes me that we have these conversations.
So we are the actual threat to democracy. So they couldn't even have him on the ballot because we'd vote for him.
We're not, but the hundreds of thousands of immigrants that came over are not the threat to democracy.
Well, which party is smarter? The ones bringing in millions and millions of new votes every year.
The ones doing whatever it takes to win, and the party that just wants to be left alone will continue to lose if that's what you want to do.
They will.
That's right. I just want to be left alone. Well, then you're gonna be forever eating a shit sandwich.
Well, just look at the subways, right? New York, they've got National Guard every day in there searching bags. Finally, they're doing something. They're trying to do something, but it's gotten that bad now. Chicago is doing the same thing.
Let me ask you, Kevin, what do you think they are trying to do?
Federalize.
Checking is not going to be doing it.
Yeah, well, the National Guard shouldn't be in there doing police work anyway. That's not their
so what's the point?
design.
Is it just
it's a show? Yeah, of course. Yep.
Well, see, if Trump tried to do something like that, they'd cite the Posse Comitatus Act, and they wouldn't be allowed to do anything of the sort because you can't have U.S. military doing any police functions.
So they're very limited in what they can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but if Trump did that, they'd be jumping up and down about Posse Comitatus, and he's now we need to impeach him because he's violated the Constitution.
He would be trying to become a dictator if he did that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, I got a game for you then. Before we leave the State of the Union.
Kill, marry. Oh, different game. Never mind.
Pick one, if you can think of one. Think of one. I could think of several but I made notes. I cheated. I made notes. How many lies did you hear? Outright lies.
53.
That's pretty exact.
You're serious, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm serious. 53, I think it was.
Oh, there are 53.
I think so.
Okay. All right, name one.
I'm kind of guessing.
Did he introduce himself as Joe Biden or somebody else? That graduated at the top of his class and
I didn't even
some school he never went to.
I didn't even see the State of the Union address. I saw snippets of it because I wasn't even home, so I didn't watch it. But I
mean, these weren't little white lies either. These were blatantly checkable.
Yeah, I watched snippets of it.
Facts.
So,
I mean, the first thing he said that I noticed is he said he turned the train deficit around, which is obviously false. I mean, they've experienced a record trade deficit every year of his administration. Every year.
Well, he clearly has no idea what he's talking about, right? So I don't blame him. I mean, if you got dementia, you just don't get it. You don't understand your lies.
Yeah. I didn't see the Facebook fact checkers come out against it, so that must be true.
Oh,
right.
Right. Never mind.
yeah.
Well, he inherited an economy that's on the brink.
Yeah.
That was his direct quote, and the GDP grew. Yeah, the 2 years prior to him coming in. Another lie. That's not even close.
Well, all the new jobs that he created, they weren't new jobs. They were just part-time jobs that came back after COVID. Yeah. So.
Well, speaking of COVID, he conveniently forgot that more people died under him with COVID than under Trump.
He's just reading the crap that they wrote in front of him. They put in his teleprompter. That's all he did was read it. He doesn't know it to be true or false. He just reads it, what's put in front of him. And then he gets his chocolate chip ice cream afterwards.
Wait,
there's a truck that's getting ready to back over you, Michael.
Did you hear that?
Turn around.
Yeah, but even the lockdowns, the school closures, all that crap. I mean, as damaging as they were, they couldn't say they were damaging. They had to say it wasn't the right thing until they come out now. Then they're saying, "Oh, we fought to get them open." No, you did.
Well, it only took
New York Times article.
It only took the CDC 3 years to figure out that you don't have to quarantine for 5 days. Right now, it's just 24 hours after your last symptom, you can go back to work.
I led that.
And they made the 6-foot rule up. We know that. Even Fauci said, "Yeah, we just made that up." Sounded like a good number.
Yeah.
And the kids are screwed. The New York Times is saying in this article that they put out that the most damaging disruption in the history of American education is set back learning by 2 decades. 2 decades. Now that's our kids, and we can't forget who did that. And we tend to forget. Everybody tends to forget because we moved on to the next topic. But I don't know, man. You see these kids, a lot of them that are just so far back now.
Yeah, but you can't forget that was part of the Trump administration too.
That's
that was
where it
not.
started.
I mean,
It's
not a political thing. It's a government organizational thing, and certain
because we didn't know what we had, right?
Yeah, I mean,
but eventually we did.
The government did it.
I don't know. I don't buy a 2-year lockdown as being, the Trump thing.
Well, I just want to see where this investigation.
Because it started all that.
No, the vaccine was Trump too. I mean, so again, he was pushing to accelerate it. Remember?
But we didn't have a vaccine under him. He had Operation. He had Operation. What is it? All hands on deck or whatever they called it. What was it?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. To get it out and get it distributed quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
The vaccine came out under Trump.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Did it come out under Trump?
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Okay.
They were rushing through it. But
which is a good thing. I mean, that's what everybody's pushing for. Everybody wanted it. We didn't know what the heck was really going on at the time.
How does it go through all these years without knowing the source? Killing hundreds
We know the
of
source.
people?
Listen,
Yeah, I mean, come on. It happened
I know the source.
at Wuhan lab. That's the epicenter, and people wonder where it come from. Where's that? The bat. Started, Jim.
I don't know. I think, but it's just anyway. I didn't really want to get all into that, but I just these were the things that he mentioned during the State of the Union. Another one. Oh, Trump and the Republicans. They're gonna crush Social Security, and Trump is the one candidate on the Republican side that said don't touch it. And again, it's just another lie. I get it. It's a lie. Everybody probably even knows it's a lie.
Yeah, it's fear mongering. They've been doing that for
throw grandma off the cliff,
decades.
That type of stuff. Yeah.
Do you think that the millennial generation realizes they're not going to be counting on Social Security?
I think they do.
They're not.
They know.
They need to set up their own retirement. Our generation knows.
Yeah.
They're crazy enough to rely on.
I mean, they're already expecting their student loans to be forgiven. So,
there'll be some people that will stick their head in the sand, and it's going to kick them in the ass. But I think most people know it's going to be done, unless they raise the age to, the starting age to 75. You can't take it till you're 75. That'll save it for now. But the problem is there's not enough workers paying into it for the people that are retired. So there's less and less people paying in for the people that are retiring, and the numbers are shrinking here and growing here. So
people are living longer. That's a big multiple.
Actually, this year was the first year the life expectancy went down in the U.S. by 1 year.
Wow, are you kidding?
Yes, first year ever. First year in a long time. It's gone down by.
Crazy.
It wasn't a whole year, but it's gone down
because of the COVID deaths. You think, or is it just
possibly because of COVID? But just. I guess we've hit our medical.
We can't go any further.
Yeah, we've hit our peak, right? We
too many cheeseburgers.
We peaked in high school.
Golden arches.
Yeah, right.
Did you see the couple protesters that were there? I think it was one of the Marines' dad that died on the Afghanistan withdrawal. They of course they arrest him.
Yeah, they arrested him. Yeah.
The illegals, or not the illegals, but the ones that were out blocking the motorcade, they didn't bother arresting them.
Yeah, the Hamas protesters.
Yeah,
pro-Hamas people, Palestine.
But if you're a Marine dad, Gold Star dad, you can't shout out. And then of course, you already brought up the Lincoln Riley.
Yeah,
he's holding a button with her name on it after he already said, "Yeah, I know how to say it."
Hey, speaking of shout out, Marjorie Taylor Greene. What do you guys think of her?
I don't know. She's becoming my new hero.
She's a little nuts.
She's crazy.
That's why I like her.
Little trumpet.
She's our AOC.
Touche.
but less hot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh. I like how she takes it to them. I wish they all did. And then she wouldn't be so, fringe.
I just wonder how these people get elected. I just, how do they run their camp? I mean, I don't understand.
yeah.
Well, because their constituents are idiots. They're literally idiots. The population, everybody's pretty dumb. There are a lot of dumb people. Let's be honest. And they might not be that dumb. They're just, a lot of them could be just misinformed. They just don't know because they don't follow this shit like we do.
Give them credit for being dumb.
Okay, they're dumb.
They've earned
I'll take.
They're dumb. Jim, what did we see in Annapolis? Well, Kevin, you saw it too. What did we see in Annapolis? Constantly running around down there during session, especially morons. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that, but I
don't know what you're talking about, Michael. I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. I mean, we'd walk in almost daily, shaking our heads at some of these, jokers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, a lot of very sane people, very smart people, educated people. They're like, I ain't doing that. They're not gonna run.
Why would you?
Why would you? Why would you subject
Exactly.
you? Especially if you got a ton of money already. You got a ton of money.
Yeah.
You just, again, that's
Ego. That's the only reason you would run.
Yeah.
If you got to inflate your ego, if you got enough money, why?
I
Why
guess.
subject yourself?
I guess
to that?
you need,
unless you truly care.
if you need that popularity or something like that, you need to have that spotlight or something. But that's the only other reason I could think of, because you would not want that headache. It's just not worth it. I mean, you're constantly getting blasted on social media. Now that that's out, now that there is a social media, back in the day, you had a little peace after you went home. Now you have nothing. You have no minute to yourself for peace. It's always something blowing up your phone. Oh, did you hear what they said about me today? Well, shit, I don't want to hear that anymore. I'm out.
Well, on a national level, Congress, Senate, who's a good politician? Ron Paul?
Ron Paul for sure.
Pretty good guy.
He'd be great. I wish he would take over Mitch McConnell's spot, but that'll never happen.
How many good politicians does America have right now? Like good guys, right reason.
Yeah, there's probably a few. We only hear about all the dirt on everybody. You know what I mean? Like you just hear the loudest thing that's screaming. But there's probably some good ones that truly care.
Probably there's with less than 8 years. Senators for sure.
Yeah.
Shifty short.
Term limits. Got to have term limits.
I think that there are some reasons. There are some very noble reasons for going in, but I think once you've had your second term in whatever it is, by your third term, I just don't think
you got to go get a job.
I just don't think you're in it for the right reason anymore. I really don't.
Yeah, I think it changes them too, because they might go in with the idea that they're going to be able to do this.
That's what I mean. Noble reasons.
And then when they get in there, say, "Hey, son, this is how it works here." Yeah. And day two is now you need to start raising money for your next election, and that's their number one goal was to raise money for the next election.
Congressman X was a book that was exactly that.
Is that right?
Basically, after the day after your election,
yep, you're sworn in.
You start campaigning.
You start campaigning, absolutely, and you start fundraising.
Both sides too, and
absolutely.
Would you want, if you were setting term limits for the House, since they only have a 2-year term, would you go for a 3-year limit? I mean, a 3-term limit or a 2-term? It seems like 4 years is a little tough.
Well, that's the thing. In the House, honestly, 2 years might not be enough for a term.
No,
maybe it needs to be a 4-year term. You can do 2 max, and then you're out.
Yeah, right.
Just like a president.
Or even 3.
4-year
but that's exactly what I was saying. Was the 2-year term, man? You are from day one. You're campaigning,
absolutely,
fundraising to get and
for your next election,
hobnob and get the connections you're going to need to get the financial backing.
Absolutely.
So when you do leave, you'll have a nice cushy job on the board of something.
Probably will.
Paid into your.
I'm okay with
offers.
that. That's going to happen no matter what.
Lobbyists. I think we do away with lobby.
Well, they have to. Yes, they have to do away with that, and they also have to do away with like super PACs and all these different organizations that can take in, millions of dollars from corporation, but each individual person can only give $13,000 to donate. Okay, that's fine, but they shouldn't be able to take any money from super PACs, and then the super PAC can distribute the money how they want it, and then they say, okay, well, we're going to send it to Kentucky because that's a really tight race, and then we're going to send it here because all the swing states, because this is where the elections really won or lost. So all those millions and millions of dollars that are coming in, that shouldn't be allowed. Just like when Zuckerberg spent $400 million on stuff in ballot boxes in the swing states in Wisconsin, Michigan, Zuckerbucks. Yeah, none of that should be allowed. It should be no organization, no trust, no corporation should be able to give any money to any campaign or super PAC or anything. It should be individual donations by the person, a husband and wife, and it should be capped out at $15,000 total. And if you can't get Joe Citizen to shoot you $40-$50 for your campaign, then you don't deserve to win.
Mike, you all right?
That wasn't me. That was the table.
Well, the way that the news is even being delivered now is very different. I don't know if moving forward, you're not going to be buying television time. How many television ads are going to influence you politically?
Yeah, it's a dying media.
It's all through
dying medium for sure.
Oh, no question.
Absolutely.
But it's all through your handheld devices now.
Absolutely.
Your newspapers are gone. Nobody's going to buy blocks and newspapers for that.
Do you think the handheld is effective? I get that stuff. I just delete. I don't know.
No, I don't. I'm talking when I say handheld, I'm referring more towards where are you getting your news? Where are you going to get your news? I get so much news from Mail Online,
podcasts,
streaming,
podcasts.
Everything's streaming. Everything's going to be streaming services. Whatever you consume is streamed. You're streaming all your
I delete 10 text messages a day from fundraiser things every single day.
Even if I support the candidate, I'm not going through that.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Well, they're looking to catch the guy that doesn't follow this, and he sees he sees the name and he recognizes the name because it was bombarded on his phone. Then when he goes into the polls, if he does vote, he sees the name and he recognizes it because it blew his phone up all the time. So that's the kind of person that they're getting. They're not getting the informed voter because they're already on the issues. They already pretty much know who they're going to vote for, and they definitely know who they're not going to vote for. So you're not going to get those people. You're just throwing it out there for the masses, the young folks that aren't really involved, and just hoping a name sticks, name recognition, populist type stuff. That's all they're trying to catch, I think, and it works.
Well, it must.
Yeah.
If you were Laken Riley's mother or father right now, how pissed would you be?
I can't comment on that one.
1 to 50?
Oh, yeah.
I'd be pissed enough to take action. That's how pissed I'd be.
That's exactly
50 caliber, maybe.
Oh.
Is that a 50 out of 100 kind
of? Is that a 50 out of 100 caliber? What is that?
Well, one, he compares her death to his kids. And listen, I'll be the first to say, my heart goes out to anybody who has lost a child, but he lost a son to cancer, a disease.
Oh, I thought it was war, wasn't he? Didn't he say he lost his son in war?
Whatever, the real, obviously, the real one was the cancer.
Oh,
the truth.
The infant daughter that died in the car crash. Mm-hmm. Tragic. But he's comparing that to her death, to Laken's death, who died because of open border policies that he supports.
Right.
Well, that's the big push now. The big push now is they're saying that all of these people that are complaining about having no sort of connection to these illegals and the open border stuff, that the celebrities are towing that line now. They don't. Most of the people complaining about this don't even know. It's not even impacting them.
No.
They don't even see it. You know what? It impacted us. Somebody got killed 4 miles away from here. Somebody came in across the border illegally on a trail that all of our wives have been on,
walk on,
probably dozens to hundreds of times.
That's it.
It affected everybody here,
for sure.
Well, it's sick.
Still at large.
Real legitimate Americans are getting robbed, and raped, murdered, and will continue to in the months ahead. Sorry about the noise.
Are you playing Nintendo?
No.
It's like ColecoVision football.
This is the quietest spot here until I do this. But these people are, these Americans are going to be victimized because of these policies.
Yeah.
He's supporting.
Well,
and then he apologizes for calling it illegal.
Well, if the president doesn't have immunity the moment he leaves office, then somebody should get the intestinal fortitude to indict Joe Biden on accessory to murder and manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, for allowing all of these illegals to come in, actually flying them in, 358,000 of them, flying them in illegally, human trafficking across the border. So somebody, if his presidential immunity is up as soon as he's no longer president, then I want to see him in frickin' iron bracelets and charged accordingly. If that's truly what the Supreme Court rules, that the president no longer has immunity once he leaves office for any official act, then if
they're not going to rule that though. They can't.
I hope they don't. I hope they don't. But a lot of the pundits I'm hearing, pretty smart lawyers, are saying that he's going to lose that case. And if that's the case, because that was definitely an official act what he did. Okay, that was an official act while he was in office. Now the lower courts, the district courts and the circuit courts, have not ruled on whether or not that was or wasn't an official act. So what they could do is say, yes, presidents have immunity while in office for official acts while in office, and they continue to have that immunity when they leave office. Okay, but only for official acts. So they could punt that or kick that back to the district court and say, you need to rule on whether or not what Trump did and what you're charging him with was an official act. Because if it is, then you can go ahead and make it go away. And if you rule that it wasn't an official act and he appeals it, it's going to work its way back up to the Supreme Court again. And they're going to wind up ruling, yes, it was an official act. Yes, he has immunity for it. But again, they don't want to rule on this stuff. They want the courts to rule on it. And then, based on who wins and loses, they'll take the appeals if necessary. But I agree. I think that's how they're ruled. But a lot of pundits don't think that. A lot of smart, scholarly legal minds are saying that they think he's going to lose that. And if that's the case, then Joe Biden needs to be in handcuffs the moment he leaves office for all the crimes he's committed.
Right.
I mean, currently, not while in office, not the stuff that not the corruption part.
Yeah, not the corruption.
Not the corruption part, but the human trafficking, involuntary manslaughter, and accessory to murder part.
Go ahead.
Have they said how this guy? It really hasn't come out how he came into the country yet, right? It hasn't been.
He's Venezuelan.
But they don't know. I mean, literally, how did he come here? Did he walk across? Was he flown in on one of the?
No. I think he came in.
Midnight
I think he
flights?
came in 2021. I want to say, but I'm not sure how.
So he's got a 2028 court date. Probably they should be able to tell us when his court date is. I'm serious.
Well, he was already.
You're right.
He was locked up in New York and let go on was it theft charges? Something like that. I think theft charges.
I mean, a court date for becoming a citizen.
Right,
it's about 7 years is what they're saying, right?
Oh, I don't know about that.
The catch and release court date.
Yeah.
Well, that's not to become a citizen. That's a catch and release to come for trial, whether or not you're
to have a shot at becoming a citizen.
Yes, or whether or not he's claiming amnesty or asylum rather.
Amnesty.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know any of the ins and outs about that, but
Nobody does.
Well, somebody does. Somebody does. Somebody knows.
Well, they got their plan.
Unless he was never apprehended and released, he could have just been caught after he committed his first crime somewhere, but he was never caught at the border. So
if I were one of two political parties,
I just may not even know
the GOP, I would probably be focusing really hard to try to figure out where this guy came from and how he got here.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, the big picture.
Where did he cross? Did he cross in California, Texas?
The flood.
This guy would be my poster for the election. It'd be so easy to do.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Because
what
did they say?
Him and Lakin will be the big posters.
Hey, yeah, they literally let this guy come in across the border in Texas where the federal government is fighting the state, trying to stop people from coming across.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you see the
cross in Texas? Yeah.
The recent statistic from I think it was from Venezuela that their crime rate is down 25% or something.
Well, maybe they shouldn't be able to claim asylum then.
Right.
If it's safer there.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. It's safer now than here. Yeah. Well, you brought up the other point. I mean, because of the campaign, you're right. It's sound bites and snapshots, and you don't get much more powerful than what you just talked about. Yeah. And speaking of flying them in, if what I saw is correct, over 100,000 of the flights that came in last year were from Haiti. Over 100,000 of the people, and we see what's going on right there, right now.
Maybe you'll get
Did you guys hear about barbecue? It's right at the other side of this island.
Yeah, barbecue. Yeah, I just saw him barbecue.
Barbecue. Yeah, eating people on the street.
Yeah, that's his nickname. His nickname's Barbecue. He's like the lead gang boss.
He's the lead.
He's the leader.
He's the head guy.
That's it.
The gangs are taking control over there,
Haiti,
and it's going to be a long time before that's fixed. I think they're mad they didn't get their Clinton Foundation money.
That's it. They got promised that their cell phone towers. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, oh man, please. I hope the Dominicans doing a lot better protecting their wall, their border than we are right now.
Right. Well, if not,
I got 6 days and I'm out of here.
You might be able to get a free flight home on one of those Haiti planes.
Yeah. But actually, they're saying everything's pretty safe here right now. But who knows?
You almost got backed over by a truck. I just heard it.
No,
it's not that safe.
Golf cart going by. There's a little path right off the patio here. They keep going by golf carts.
How's that wet bar?
The wet bar's nice. I've already demolished half of it.
Oh, and, we might not see you again then.
Is that a wet bar or a wet market?
Yeah. Supposed to stay away from that wet bar.
It's nice, I gotta tell you.
Any pangolins out there?
The pangolins, the masks, the border's protected.
I hope so, for your sake.
Right?
Yeah, I know. I'm keeping an eye on it, I will say.
You should start learning how to have a French accent so they'll pass you by.
Bonjour.
He's like, black shack
dragging a leg through the street. I was like, okay, that's not good.
Black shack shack.
Comment vous appelez-vous? Je m'appelle Mike.
Je m'appelle Mike.
Vive la France! Vive la France!
Just put your hands up. They'll know you're French.
Oh my gosh, have we gone?
Shay.
I think we've used our hour.
Just surrender.
Surrender.
Just surrender. You're French Canadian. You're French Canadian.
I don't believe you.
At least we'll really appreciate that. I was counting on you to protect me.
This is our cover, honey. Just be quiet. Just go with it.
Just go with it. Just do what they say.
Just go. Oh.
No, but it's nice. Well, anyway, has it been an hour? Josh, where's our time keep?
55 minutes.
We're at 55.
Oh, okay. That's great. What else you got? I know the captain has some things. Oh, hey, holiday.
Yeah, spring training. Yeah.
I'm telling you, the kid's for real. He looks like he's 12, but
he does.
Just popped a grand slam the other day.
First home run.
I think grand slam.
On an 0-2 count, fastball high. Like maybe it was the pitcher's first day too.
0-2 count.
High heat on an 0-2 count, like borderline high, top of the zone.
Yeah, it was. But that pitcher, he would if he played for my coach, he would have pulled him out. 0-2 pitch better not be hittable ever anywhere.
It was
0-2 pitch, you better bounce it off the plate.
Yeah. I think he was 2 for 3 again today, hitting 3-something.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's making an argument for being there opening day.
Yeah, probably we talked about that before the podcast.
They're trying.
I think he'll be
base.
there.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to transition him into second base.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yep.
Yeah,
What was
he's
he
been playing there like 7 of his 9 starts.
Yeah, that's what they're
What was
trying
he
to do.
before?
He's a
He's a
shortstop.
shortstop.
He's not.
He's a true
Okay.
shortstop. Yeah.
Maybe the Dodgers will trade for him. They need a
But
shortstop.
we have a really good, we have a really good shortstop.
You heard it here first.
Oh God!
But yeah, with Henderson and him up the middle, they're pretty strong. If that's the case.
I don't know how you waste him at second base.
Oh, he could.
Is that a waste? I don't know.
If he sticks there, I mean, he could end up being one of the greatest of all time.
Well,
Who
who's
knows?
better?
But you know,
He could
I mean,
be. He could be another
Who's
Roberto
better at,
Alomar.
Who's better at short?
so who is the greatest second baseman?
I was just going to say that. I guess
Mookie Betts.
I don't know. Roberto Alomar was probably one of the top.
He's got to be top 10 for
He's
sure.
got to be top 5.
As much as I hate to say it, Altuve is probably the best. I know they're giving me crazy looks right now, but I really do think
But
he's
Roberto was good.
probably the best.
Was he the one banging on the trash can? Oh yeah.
What's the other guy's name?
Was he the one banging on it?
Yeah, but he was hitting up. Everybody else was hitting down on the trash can.
I don't know. In my lifetime, I mean, was it Sandberg? Ryan Sandberg?
I mean, even what's his name up in Boston was unbelievable for what he did. I can't believe I can't think of his name.
Must have
Getting old sucks.
Yeah.
Pedroia.
Yeah,
Austin Pedroia was an absolute star.
He was a stud. There's still another guy that his name slips my mind.
Bill Ripken.
Yeah, no.
So, what team are you thinking about? The second baseman you can't think of, Jim. What are you talking about?
I want to say he was in the at the Mariners. Marlins, maybe.
Yeah, Chase Utley.
Yeah.
Come on, Kevin. Disappointed in you.
I can't remember.
Oh, let's
can't remember his
let's
name.
roll shortstop. Let's roll shortstop into.
Here's a clue. Here's a clue. He's Hispanic.
Boa.
That rules out 1% of the baseball population.
All right, let's make it easier. Shortstop, greatest of all time.
Greatest defensive.
The Wizard,
Yeah.
Greatest defense to be in
That's
the
what I think of.
just in general. Well, you could
all around.
Yeah.
See, that's the weird spot because you have different builds. You know, you got somebody big like Ripken, and then you got, the Wiz.
Ripken's not even in the top.
Ozzie Smith.
Ripken's not even in the top
Yeah.
10 in my opinion. But
Who?
Well, he was good
Ripken.
at positional play. He
You look at his numbers; they're up there.
Yeah.
he wouldn't be.
All time.
He wouldn't be in my top 10. Just because you played every day doesn't mean you're in the top.
No,
10.
but he was. I mean, even defensively, big guy, but he was pretty solid defensively.
He was solid defensively, but you know why he had the numbers he had and why he didn't have all the errors? Because there was balls he couldn't get to that other people would have gotten
He just didn't have
because he
the
doesn't have the range, right? So yeah, if he eat up every ball that comes to you, that you're not impressing me that much.
He played pretty deep too.
Correct. Well, that led him get to balls that he wouldn't be able to get to because it gave him a little bit more time. So he had to have the arm to get.
He had the arm.
And he had the arm to do it, but he still, he just didn't have he doesn't have the range.
Well, at least but he still made the play.
Well, if
Not too many errors.
if he couldn't get to the ball and it went through as a base hit, he didn't make the play. But there's other people that would have made that.
Wasn't an
play.
error though.
No, it wasn't an error because
wasn't an error.
it wasn't
That's
an
the
error
other
because he never got his glove on it. Other folks would have gotten their gloves on it and or even made the play, just because of the range thing. But those are we're trying to prove stuff that didn't exist.
And are you including hitting now?
I'm including hitting too. I think he's a better hitter than he was a fielder, but not by much.
Current MLB, you better rake at shortstop.
Correct.
You better have a
It's
great
a power
hitter at
position.
shortstop.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a luxury to have a superstar hitter at second base.
That's
At shortstop,
that's what I'm saying.
You better rake.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's a waste at second base. I think he needs to be a shortstop with the
Why does
Dodgers.
it matter though?
He needs to be a
Yeah,
shortstop.
he will.
In the
2
current,
years.
in the current state of baseball, every as much as kids are playing baseball from time they're that big, every position should be hitting close to 300 and hitting 30 home runs a year. I mean,
Pitchers got better too. They have situational
Well,
pitchers
that's
now.
true,
We
too.
didn't have That wasn't a thing 15 years ago. You know,
why do the middle spots have to be less of a hitter? I mean,
well, the rule of thumb was that if you could gain enough defensively, you wanted an all-around hitting, pitching, or hitting, fielding guy, right? Major league average hitter, above average fielder. Well, now you got to be a way above average hitter to be a shortstop in Major League Baseball.
Shortstop, yeah. But you don't have to be in second base, which doesn't make any sense.
It's kind of weird, huh?
It's kind of weird, yeah. The second baseman's always the Punch and Judy guy, right? That it was back in the day.
Right.
And then you'd had your Roberto Alomars that were
Rod Carew, second base.
Yeah, exactly. Except Punch and Judy. But then you have your exceptions like your Alomars. You could smoke the ball and hit home runs, and big strong guys. And I think that's the trend. I think they're all going to. Everybody can freaking rake and hit the ball too.
All right, who's first base? Who's your best?
Boog Pal now.
Best first baseman of all time.
I knew somebody was going to say it. Will Thrill?
No.
Great
stories. Best storyteller.
Right.
Who, Will?
Yeah.
Or Boo?
No, Will.
Best first baseman.
Was Mickey Mantle first base?
No, he played outfield, but he might have ended it there when his wheels.
Yeah, they all seem to end at first base.
Yeah, well, that tells you something about first base too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you can still hit the ball, they'll find a place for you.
Freddie Freeman, currently number 1 ranked first baseman MLB. He's pretty good.
I don't get to see him much since he's out there.
That's weird. I do.
I know you do.
That's weird.
I don't know. All right, might as well skip the third then. Who's third?
Best third baseman?
Probably Brooks, right? I mean, I don't
defensively.
Bias here, yeah.
You're playing it safe. That's for sure.
Mike Schmidt, good crush. He was solid defensively.
He was solid defensively and a massive hitter.
Yeah,
Mike Schmidt for sure.
Man, Roland. Scott Rowland was a stud.
What about
on the Braves?
George Brett. George Brett.
Yeah, George Brett.
George Brett was a freaking stud too.
The guy from the Braves.
Sintar assisted, and then a
right
hit.
Sintar.
Want to say hello? Lisa says hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Yeah, a lot of great third basemen.
Yeah.
I mean,
third base you got to be able to hit.
Yes, absolutely.
Corner outfielders,
but Brooks wasn't.
Corner outfield, you have to be able to hit these days.
Absolutely.
Center field, you can lean a little heavier towards the defensive side of the equation
he's covering
on the
both ways,
but you still got center fielders that can absolutely smash the ball now.
Everybody can smash.
Realistically, second base is the only. No, catcher too. I'm sorry.
Catcher,
you can definitely hide.
Catcher.
Yeah, a catcher hitting. A fantastic catcher hitting 240 is still a pretty valuable piece.
Yes, if you're a great defensive catcher, yeah.
Good game caller.
Yep.
Good defensive. Good arm.
Do they really call the games though anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
They call them.
But I thought they're still getting signals from either the bench or
no. A lot of times the catcher is still giving.
Do they have stuff in their ears?
He's the guy giving the signal still.
Yeah, but
he's saying he's getting the calls.
He's
from
not
the bench. He's calling it from somewhere, and then he's just
relay. He's just
relaying the signels. I don't know.
Has it changed?
I think it depends on, and I don't know this for sure because I'm not in the game, but I think that it depends on the pitcher, how experienced the pitcher is. If the coach wants to call the game, he's going to call the game. But I think that, if you have a really experienced pitcher in there, he's going to call his own game. The catcher's going to call the signals, and he's going to shake them off and call his
Managers
game.
Aren't calling games, right? We all agree to that.
Well,
there's no manager calling a game.
The
Astros, baseball right now.
The Astros, they do whatever they want.
There's no pitching coach calling a major league game right now, right?
I don't know. You see catchers look over between every pitch. They're looking over.
Maybe they have a game manager.
Oh, yeah.
The Astros,
maybe that's migrating from MLB to the NFL.
Right. The Astros can steal the room signals.
But seriously, a pitching coach is working on who's warming up, how many throws they're having.
Should be.
There's so many moving parts to that.
But there's also
a manager. There's no way a manager is calling pitches.
Yeah,
the bullpen coach does that though. The bullpen coach does all that and relays it to the pitching coach.
You got so many coaches.
I would think.
Yeah.
And then
No, I agree with that. He's not counting their pitches out there. But
No.
he's the guy getting the information.
Correct.
He knows what's going on.
Absolutely, yeah.
He knows what batters are coming up. He knows the left matchups coming up.
Yep.
Well,
And
a good
He
catcher
couldn't
is
call.
not
He
just-
couldn't call a game and do all that.
He could not, no. And he knows who's coming up, what batters, a left-hander or right-hander, and then he knows who to bring in based on who's coming up and how they do against this guy. 'Cause
Yeah.
they got all those stats, and they're getting blasted with all those stats that you're not going to be able to keep in your head.
Right.
Absolutely, and it all matters.
I think the catcher's a good manager, like for the play. He's got the vision. He's got the vision of what's happening on the field. He sees the base runners. He sees who's moving.
He's in
He knows
every
the
he's
pitcher.
in every play.
He's every play.
He's in
He knows
every play.
He knows the pitch coming.
Yeah. So he could afford to hit
Yeah,
down in the 240s and
Yeah.
still have a
yeah.
Yeah.
As long as he's a good defensive catcher.
yeah.
Best catcher of all time.
Who do I think is? Ooh, that's tough.
Johnny
That's a tough
Bench.
one.
Johnny Bench will come up after.
Yeah.
Everybody comes up with that.
God, we keep saying these old
Wasn't
people.
Vera,
I just don't think. I mean, he's good.
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Was awesome.
Yeah.
Pudge, yeah.
Pudge.
I just think some of these younger guys that have been around like 10 years or newer are just better than
They're so good.
there's.
You're
Like our guy?
They're so good. Buster Posey was an absolute.
That's the same in every
Defensively.
They're just getting bigger, faster, and stronger.
Yeah,
Buster Posey was so good they made a rule about you can't hit the catchers because when he got injured. That's how good that guy was.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, Maurer.
Yeah.
Was good.
There's just so many.
Maurer
good-
had a lot of
so
years
many great.
first.
There's a really lot of great defensive catchers. Like you said, you don't have to hit the cover off the ball if you're that great behind the plate.
But we have a good one now.
Thank God.
Exceptionally good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. So
Yeah, and he'll hit what 280 to boot. You know.
mhm.
And a lot of home runs in there.
Which is no slacking. Yeah, for sure.
Good times, gentlemen. I'm going to go eat.
Good. You're a smart man.
I think I got Spanish on the menu tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, it's French. Gotta
I'm
eat
pretty
French.
sure it's going to be Haitian cannibal taco.
Just don't order an American steak.
Go right to the border. There's some great little restaurants right on the border there.
You can barter for your food.
They have
I'm as
good-
far
good
away from
poodle.
that end of the island as I can get.
Their St. Bernard is spectacular, Mike.
That's right.
What's the barbecue cooking up over there?
I know, right?
Did you see him dragging the leg? He's dragging a leg through the street eating it.
What?
Are you giving us a play-by-play?
Where did you see that?
It's all over the internet, dude.
Oh, I haven't been on the internet today.
This guy is ruthless. I'm not kidding.
Barbecue. Well, they nicknamed him well, didn't they?
Yeah. But he's literally he cooked this dude, cut him up, and he was dragging pieces of him through the street and eating it.
Oh man, doesn't sound very sanitary.
Modern day Hannibal Lecter.
A friend of mine texted me about that today.
Welcome to Haiti.
He said, enough internet for the day.
Enough internet for the day.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thanks for hosting me.
Hey, have a great dinner, but don't become part of it, okay?
You're exactly right.
Yeah, I'll stay away from barbecue
That's right.
in more ways than one.
Don't be on the menu.
Well, you guys have a safe ride home, and I'm going to sign off.
Have fun, buddy.
All right.
All right.
Good talking to you.
Enjoy.
Hey, Michael.
All right.
What's on your mind, Todd?
Nothing.
Come on. There's something on your mind.
Something's definitely on your mind.
This is like a bonus section.
Yeah, exactly. It could go in bloopers or it could go.
Did you say
go viral?
Did you say boneless section? I'm still talking about barbecue, right?
That's right.
This boneless section.
Jim, I really love your political input.
My political input.
Spot on. It's always spot on, honest to God. It's always very good.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I just don't want to set myself up for a huge disappointment again.
Oh, you.
I am.
Well, we still might.
I-
Yeah.
Yeah, don't set yourselves up for it. Don't expect.
Yeah, I know.
Don't expect it.
I don't expect it. I expect them to cheat, and I expect us to lose, and that way I'll be
Well, guess what?
pleasantly surprised.
Guess what the GOP never fixed?
They didn't fix any.
They didn't fix the election
any of that. No,
What do they fix?
no, they didn't. They
drive me
didn't fix it.
crazy.
They didn't fix the health care when they got.
They didn't fix health care when they
didn't
owned
fix
all
that.
three.
Yep. That didn't, yeah.
They didn't fix the voter issue. They didn't fix the Second Amendment issues. They could so easily take it, run, say, hey, there is a plan here.
They put the sword into the heart of the Roe v. Wade, but then as soon as that happened, they took it. Some of the states took it so far with the heartbeat and all this other different things before a certain time, and or outlawing abortions altogether. All it did was fuel
mixed feelings about it.
I
Not
know.
about abortion, about whether that should be a political part of your political platform. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't, but they're beating us over the head with it.
Guess who is? The far right is beating us over the head with it too.
Yeah.
They want to make they want to nationalize a law. That's dumb.
That's dumb.
That's really dumb.
Well, you can't, because it's not. You don't. The Constitution says that they can't. They should have learned that from the ruling.
Right.
It's not it's not in the Constitution. You don't have a constitutional right, and feds can't make a law for it either. It's the states. The states have the right to do that.
Which I agree with.
Exactly right. I agree
to
with
a
it as well.
different state.
If you don't, if you want to kill your baby, go move to a state that allows it. And if you don't, if you don't, then you can stay where you are. But doesn't mean you can't have one. Just means you can't have one here. It's like you don't have to go home. You just can't stay here. Closing time. Same thing. So I don't know, but we got hammered with that in 2018.
2020.
2020.
2022.
I'm sorry, 2020 and 2022.
2022.
Correct. Yep, those are the two. Yep, we got hammered with that. We got beat up by it, and they're going to try to revive it again this year.
It's not going to be hard.
It's not going to be hard, but we've got the card up our sleeve is the illegal immigration and the murders.
Right.
Right. That's the only thing that's saving us right
You know
now.
what my poster child would be? Every political poster I had
would be Bacon
showing
Riley and the illegal guy.
And economy. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but
Well, the economy sucks, but most of the people are saying, the economy's not their number one thing anymore, because it's not. Well, they keep touting that the economy is the greatest of all time, greatest. I mean, we know it's not.
Oh, inflation.
We know it's not. Inflation's killing everybody for sure, and most people know that though. But the economy's not having the effect it would have if all of these numbers weren't. The stock market is really high.
But to the everyday voter, the 80% of Americans who aren't even in the stock market
can't buy a house.
Can't buy a house because your wages aren't keeping up with the housing market.
Rent's too damn high. Can't afford
groceries.
Groceries are 35%.
I went to Home Depot the other day, bought a bag and a half of stuff, a little stuff that fit in their bags. It's $170. Mm-hmm. I actually stopped when I saw it, and I asked the lady, I was like, "What did I buy? You sure you?" I had to double check. I never double check my receipts, and I had to. I was like, it was unbelievable, right?
Well, people dipped in. This is recent to the highest average of the 401k that people are pulling from in the history since they started it. So think about
credit card debt through the roof.
Credit card debt.
But guess what?
There's a bubble coming.
Guess who's going to be the villains, guys? He just announced in the State of the Union they're gonna tax the rich. Well, the average voter doesn't give a crap if they're going to tax the rich. Right? And corporations, corporate tax, 21 to 28%. Yeah, right. It'll be.
And that won't put a dent in it. That's not enough to fuel anything. No. That's the funny thing is.
Well, all they'll do is they'll cut some workers. They'll cut workers.
Of course they will. Businesses aren't just going to make less.
No, you can't. No, it doesn't work that way.
People are flipping out about Five Guys hamburgers and how expensive they are.
I ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh man, I mean, think about the labor. It was. Yeah. And now it's $13.25 minimum wage. Maryland's actually $15.50, I think.
I think $15.50.
Like so, the minimum wage was never designed to live off of.
Yeah,
it was a starting wage for a high school kid. Now you got to pay the high school kid $15.50, the same as you were. So it's just and they wonder why inflation. Everything's through the roof.
Yeah, and the only thing you can do is pass it on to the consumer with charges. Upcharge, and there's no way to do it.
Yeah. Well, as a business owner, Kevin and I have talked about this numerous times. You're going to have to figure out how to take advantage of the situation, and honestly, maybe you're going to have to hire illegals or people, I don't want to call them illegals, right? Because I don't want Nancy Pelosi getting pissed at me.
Newcomers.
But maybe you're going to have to hire those people to do the jobs of the people that you can't afford to pay anymore.
Or AI in a lot of cases.
But how are you paying them? Because you can't pay them under minimum wage. They're going to have false EIN numbers because they don't have Social Security numbers. They're going to have false tax ID numbers. So they're going to be paying tax. You're going to be taking money out of their check.
Yeah, you'll still have to do withholding.
They're paying tax. You're still going to have to do withholding, and you're still going to have to pay them $15.50 an hour. Just because they're a newcomer doesn't mean you can say, "Hey, I'll give you $10 an hour under the table."
Well, I don't pay any of my guys minimum wage.
Well,
but maybe I could if I hired them.
Well, you could, but then you could again if you hired them. But you probably you might even get a better worker. I don't know. You may. I don't know what you got now, but you may get a better worker. I don't know. There might be a language barrier, but there's that. But in his case, it's a different story. In fast food or restaurant industry, if they're going to make people, make companies pay them $15 an hour, $15.50 an hour, you can't hire that. You can't hire the dishwasher or the cook back there for $10, pay him under the table in cash because you're taking a chance on, losing your business.
Well, they'll have to automize jobs away and not hire kids. You're going to just have to hire full-time.
Well, the restaurants in particular, they're just, and really business in general, as much as you can, people are going peopleless as much as they can, right? You got kiosk, you look at McDonald's or Walmart or any of these places, they got like one cashier and 50 lanes self-checkout.
So they're eliminating jobs.
Yeah, they know they're going to get stolen from. They know people are going to steal.
And they're still checking your receipt.
Yeah, it's cheaper though.
They're not checking mine though.
They don't check it.
When you guys leave a place where they want to check your receipt after you're done shopping, do you
never stop?
Never stop.
Never.
I dare them to tackle me.
I need to see that. And I look at them and I just keep walking.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, what about the other thing is waitresses and bartenders. We're talking about making them go to minimum wage too, and not tip based. So that would kill all the waitresses and bartenders because they make all their money.
Way more
in
than
cash tips.
Yeah, sure.
More tips. So,
but people wouldn't stop tipping. That's a part of our culture now, though.
I don't know if somebody's getting paid a minimum wage. There's.
But Joe Schmo at the bar doesn't know that, nor do he care.
Yes, they would because your drink would be $15 instead.
Well,
of
if they start
$8.
adjusting the prices,
well, they would have to because they have to pay.
Perhaps.
They're paying their workers, and you're not paying the worker.
And
they have to.
On that, I see a bubble coming with. I mean,
absolutely.
Whether it be the $15 fast food combo one, or the crazy. I can't go out with my wife for less than $100 now.
Absolutely.
At a decent restaurant.
People are going to start staying home.
Yeah.
Not going out.
It's going to catch up. And we're talking about credit card debt and everything else, for folks that, that's just part of the culture. And we've done that as Americans, but it's going to catch up there. The majority of Americans.
It'll force everybody to make decisions. And the first place you cut is your discretionary spending is going out to eat and doing stuff like that. That's the first place you cut. Because the necessities they're necessities because that's what they are. The necessities. You got to have gas. You got to buy food, in the house. But you don't have to go out to eat it out. And that's the first place it's going to get cut. So I feel sorry for all the waitresses and the bartenders. And if they are made to take minimum wage, whatever it be, even $15 an hour, maybe even $20 an hour, the prices are going to go so high. You're not going to be tipping them because one, you're paying them, they're paying them minimum wage.
Paying premium for
you're paying
your
premium
meal.
for your meal because the owner's got to pay his salary now. You're not paying his salary via your tip.
Now then you're not showing up.
And then either you're going and you're not tipping at all because the tip's in your wage in the price of my food, or you're not going out. Yeah, sad. All right, I think that's it. And then on a sad note,
giddy up.
Giddy down.
Giddy down.
Giddy down.
Hey, you've been listening to the All Red, White, and Blue podcast. It's engineered and recorded by Josh Miller.
Please subscribe and comment so you don't miss any future episodes. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back with you again next week.